happened in Murfreesboro on Saturday disrupted downtown. We have the rundown on what happened in the square.
Some Murfreesboro residents and business owners took the rally as an opportunity to spread love.
MTSU women's basketball hosted an exhibition match over the weekend.
All those stories plus your latest weather, MT10 News starts right now.
Thank you for joining us this evening. I'm Jayana Scurry.
And I'm Kristen Gallant. Welcome to MT10 News. Well, this past weekend, the town of Murfreesboro and MTSU prepared for the planned White Lives Matter rally. There had been rumors of a torch rally on Friday outside of Forest Hall on campus, but based on an official statement from President McPhee, no protesters or commotion happened on the campus that night. The Murfreesboro Square was the destination of a large planned protest for Saturday, and reporter Katie Inman takes us through a timeline of how everything planned out on that day.
Around 11 o'clock it started with boards, drills, and scared business owners.
When this costs this man money, put these boards up, and he owns groceries and stuff in here, so scared that somebody's gonna throw a brick or something through the window.
The whole downtown square and surrounding area was blocked off with caution tape and lined with a heavy police presence. Early on, counter-protesters started to show up, some to voice their opinions.
We can't hate our brother and say we love God at the same time.
Others to leave their mark of positive words and then leave before everything started, and some to use song to get their point across.
Lean on me when you're not strong.
And then at 1 o'clock, when the gates to the rally opened, everyone who showed up went through a security checkpoint. Once inside the square, it was apparent the counter-protesters outnumbered the actual protesters. But law enforcement kept both sides at bay.
Man, I'm going to talk to them as well, but you're the only one out here. So if you would do me a favor and back off this fence, I understand that. I'm going to talk to them. But it's easier to talk to one than 100.
Then around 3 o'clock, a handful of the protesters came with their families to support their views.
I am an American Nazi. I don't find it offensive. People find it offensive because of what it used to stand for. But if you stop and ask a person what it stands for today, it's about pride.
And to show their children both sides of the coin.
But that's my belief. If they choose to believe something as they get older, that is their choice. I don't push anything on my kids, but I do give them the freedom to choose.
And then around 3:30, the white nationalist group who was planning to come to the rally canceled due to various restrictions in Murfreesboro. But then by 4 o'clock, the protesters that were there started to fizzle out. For MT10 News, I'm Katie Inman.
Today, the square and the Murfreesboro community is cleaning up and getting back to normal.
The White Lives Matter rally not only influenced shops downtown to close, but also events on the MTSU campus. The longest-running consecutive band competition in the country, the Contest of Champions, was canceled this year as a safety precaution due to the rally. Contest of Champions hosts 25 high school bands from Tennessee, Kentucky, and Alabama, where one is given the title of Grand Champion. MTSU's Band of Blue looks forward to this contest every year, where they get to perform in costumes. It's the only non-football game performance for the Band of Blue.
We don't get to go to competitions where people come to see us. I perform at football games where people are there for the sport. But Contest of Champions is the one time of the year that people are coming to watch me, and people come specifically for the Band of Blue, and we're like the main event of the whole thing. So it's what keeps me doing color guard year after year.
This would have been the Contest of Champions' 56th year. As an alternative, Spring Hill High School hosted a competition called the Contest of Resilience.
The promise of protest and chaos on our square this past weekend had many in Murfreesboro uneasy, but reporter Thomas tells us how one local business found a way to combat that fear. Thomas joins us now from the square with this story. Thomas?
Well, that's right. A little over 48 hours ago, these streets and sidewalks were filled with protesters from both sides, participating in shouting matches with each other. But just down the road from here, something completely different was happening.
Saturday brought an unfamiliar scene to historic downtown Murfreesboro, with protesters filling the square, bringing with them an unwanted message. But minutes away from the square, at Demas's restaurant, a different type of gathering was taking place.
Our Heavenly Father, we just pray and thank you so much. Thank you for giving us this opportunity.
Restaurant owner Peter Demas paused service at both Demas's and Peter D's for 5 minutes to gather with employees and customers to pray for first responders and our city as a whole in response to the protest.
There's only one thing that can overcome evil in any form or fashion, and that's love. And that's the love that only Jesus can share.
Leading up to the event, Demas's and Peter D's handed out cards to customers with their receipts, encouraging them to join in prayer from wherever they were at 1 p.m.
Doesn't matter the denomination. I mean, whether it's Baptist Church of Christ, non-denominational, we have an incredible spiritual relationship here.
Demas's ambassador Anthony Holmes joined fellow employees in prayer and says this was their way to stand against hate.
Praying for peace. With so much negativity going on, we wanted just to show the world that we stand in here, that as believers, that we still believe in positivity. We still believe in coming together as a community. It's not about color, it's not about race, it's not about where you grew up. It's about let's come together in unity and pray for the peace that God intended for us to have.
For 5 minutes at 1 p.m., a group in Murfreesboro stood united for the right reasons.
And we here today so you can do your work through us, Lord. We just thank you and praise you in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Hallelujah.
Now, the White Lives Matter rally that was planned for Murfreesboro was actually canceled around 4 p.m. on Saturday, which was an answer to prayer for many. Reporting in downtown Murfreesboro, Thomas Capps, MT10 News.
Thanks, Thomas. Chick-fil-A gotten on some goodwill as they gave free food to first responders on Friday. Many police officers showed up in uniform to get a meal before going on their long shifts to provide protection for the protest.
For Chick-fil-A to step up and offer for us to come grab a bite to eat and also bring our families, not just specifically for us, but our entire families to be able to come and have a meal is really nice.
Chick-fil-A officials say this is the best way they know how to say thank you to the men and women who help keep us safe.
A father will be charged in the fatal shooting of his 18-year-old son in Donelson. According to the Metro Nashville Police, Brentnell James shot and killed his son, Kobe Hale, yesterday around 12:30 p.m. James and Hale allegedly began arguing outside their home when it took a turn for the worse. James claimed his son attempted to rob him and was found with a facial injury. James then shot Hale, who was pronounced dead at the scene. This is an ongoing investigation.
19-year-old Tony Buchanan was arrested Friday night in connection to a home invasion that happened in early July. Buchanan and 3 others reportedly forced their way into a home. The police were called, and upon arrival, Buchanan allegedly fired shots at a police officer. The officer was not hurt and did not return fire. Buchanan faces 4 charges, including attempted murder to a police officer.
Students were sent home on Friday after a bomb threat closed Oakland High School. Police say a student called in the threat earlier Friday morning, urging officials to cancel school instead of having students wait outside. Police officers searched the school and gave the all clear later that afternoon. Rutherford County Sheriff Mike Fitzu said the bomb threat was not affiliated with the white supremacist rally that was scheduled for last Saturday. School reopened today, and Principal Trulock said that the school is moving forward. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation's most wanted man turned himself in early Friday morning. Richard Murray Jr. was one of 3 suspects in a shooting that killed Jonathan Outlaw, a former Tennessee State University police officer. Police say Murray and 2 other men stole Outlaw's car and shot him as they fled the scene. Murray is now in custody and faces charges in both Davidson and Robertson County. Well, today's weather was pretty nice. It was a good day to be outside, right?
I agree, I really do, except for the wind today in band practice that threw me off a little. Well, Lauren Hennessy joins us now with our first look at the weather.
Thanks, guys. Well, you're right. It was pretty chilly this morning, but it did warm up this afternoon. We're just at that time of year, though, where the mornings are significantly cooler than it's going to be in the afternoons. You may be needing a few extra layers in the morning, but you can peel those off by the end of the day. As you can see right now, we're at about 67 degrees. That is higher than we've seen for the most part of the day. The wind is still at 10 miles per hour. It has been a factor for the temperature today. This morning, when we were at about 35, the wind chill factor made it feel even about 30. So it has been quite a bit cooler. The wind will continue on through the week, and we'll take a look at your Halloween weather coming up next. For now, I'm going to toss it back to the desk.
Thanks, Lauren. And still ahead on MT10 News, 3 members of President Donald Trump's team surrendered today to Robert Mueller.
The national opioid crisis has caused a public health emergency. That's coming up next on MT10 News. Former Trump campaign foreign policy advisor George Papadopoulos pleaded guilty today to making a false statement to the FBI after he lied about his interactions with foreign officials close to the Russian government. In court records unsealed today, the FBI said Papadopoulos allegedly described an interaction with a foreign contact who discussed emails concerning Hillary Clinton. In addition, former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort and former Trump campaign official Rick Gates surrendered today to Justice Department Special Counsel Robert Mueller and pleaded not guilty. This is part of Mueller's wide-ranging investigation into possible connections between the Russian government and members of the Trump's team.
Senator Corker and President Trump are at it again. In his most recent statements, Corker comments on Trump's response to the escalating tensions with North Korea. Some even believe Corker was comparing Trump to North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un by saying, "When we start exhibiting some of those same tendencies, it creates an air that leads again and more fully towards conflict."
President Donald Trump has declared a public health emergency. This is due to the national opioid crisis. 140 Americans die a day due to an opioid overdose, according to CDC. Tennessee is one of the top-ranking states for opioid abuse and addiction. Opioids are not only illegal drugs like heroin, but also prescription drugs such as oxycodone and morphine.
Rutherford County schools are expected to receive some well-needed updates. The County Board of Education established the first draft of their expansion, reaching a peak cost of $417 million. Including the building of the new high school, this plan also includes expansions of Siegel High School and Oakland Middle School. The expansions of the 2 schools are estimated to be completed by August 2018, with the new school being completed in the future.
Moviegoers might soon see price changes in tickets. Regal Entertainment Group, Knoxville-based movie theater chain, announced they will be testing demand-based ticket prices. They will be increasing the ticket prices for blockbusters and decreasing the prices for movies that might not be as popular. Regal Entertainment is one of the largest theater chains in the country and saw a decline in its third quarter revenues over last year.
And still ahead on MT10 News, MTSU students were treated to a fall festival on campus over the weekend.
And a Shark Tank star visited MTSU and spoke to business students.
For a look at your 7-day forecast and more, stay tuned after the break.
Well, today's weather was pretty nice. Hopefully the rest of the week stays like this.
I hope it does too, but with a little less wind. Lauren Hennessy joins us now with your main look at the weather.
Thanks, guys. So unfortunately, these winds are going to be here for the next couple of days, but the rain is going to stay off of us for a couple more. The rain is on its way on into the weekend, though. For the next couple of days, we're just going to be seeing some cloud coverage. The past couple of days have been a little bit cool, but those temperatures are going to be rising both in the daytime and the nighttime. But these windy conditions, like I said, they are going to be here throughout the week, and they're going to make these temperatures feel a lot cooler than they actually are. And these windy conditions are going to lead into cooler temperatures tonight. If we can get tonight's forecast. So here, as you can see, Nashville is going to be at about 38, mostly cloud coverage across the mid-state region. Shelbyville, 36, and that's going to stay the same for Columbia. Waynesboro, 39. So you are going to see mostly clear skies for tonight, and you can see this on the local radar. There's not much activity going on, just one small rain shower to down here by Jackson, but nothing else going on in the mid-state. And there's not much else to report as far as the southeastern radar goes. You can just see that there's significant cloud coverage above us. That's going to bring cooler temperatures for those states, but that temperature is going to stay above us. But tomorrow's forecast is going to be just a little bit cooler before we move on up into those warmer temperatures. Nashville, you are going to see about 56 tomorrow for your Halloween temperatures. A little bit of cloudy skies across the mid-state region, but not too much to worry about. But for an in-depth look at your Halloween forecast, so about noon, it's going to be 52 degrees with a mostly sunny sky. 4 p.m. is going to be your prime time for trick-or-treaters. It's going to be 56 with a partly cloudy sky. Your sunset is going to be at about 5:50, and that's going to make the temperatures go down quite a bit. So we'll take a look at tomorrow night's temperatures. As you can see, low 40s, high 30s. So it is going to get cooler on toward later into the night. If we can get the 7-day forecast though. So as you can see, for tomorrow, Halloween, 57 degrees with a low of 38. Those temperatures are going to be going up though on into the week. The only chance of rain that we have this week though is going to be Friday and Saturday. 60% chance here on Friday and a 50% chance on Saturday. Cloud coverage throughout the week, like I said, but it is going to start to clear up over here on Monday, 76 degrees. That is it for your weather though. Now back to the desk.
Thanks, Lauren, for that weather update. MTSU Spirit Group hosted their first fall festival over the weekend, ending the month of October with Halloween thrills and treats. MTSU students and guests lined up to be shook up by the haunted house. Others stuck to family-friendly pumpkin painting while being entertained by the live concert and numerous other activities that the organization had to offer. The Halloween-themed activities brought out family and students to enjoy their Halloween weekend safely.
All of our people acting are our students here on campus. All of the people who plan this are all students. And so the one thing that's really nice is this was all student plans. We appreciate everybody coming out. We know it's kind of a cold, rainy night, but it's a lot of fun, and we have a lot of pumpkins. Oh, yeah.
MT Spirit was a big turnout, and they hope to continue this fall festival for years to come.
Do you need something fun and safe to do with the kids for Halloween? Trick or Treat on Middle Tennessee State University's Greek Row is being held from 5 to 8 p.m. tonight. Each sorority and fraternity on the row will have their own themed booth handing out candy for trick-or-treaters 12 and under in the Murfreesboro community. This is a fun and safe event for families to come out and enjoy the Halloween festivities.
The Started Up Conference had some special guests this past weekend. Shark Tank star Damon John and magician Vin Guang both spoke at the event held by the College of Business. The conference was held for businessmen and entrepreneurs looking for professional development in their careers. Both spoke about goal setting, what makes each of them successful, and how mistakes they made led to how they are today.
To be or not to be? This is what all your friends will be saying for the next 2 weeks. MTSU will be hosting the Nashville Shakespeare Festival's performance of Midsummer Night's Dream, November 9th through 12th at Tucker Theater. Their production will have 20 MTSU students and 4 professional actors. The Nashville Shakespeare Festival will return in early 2018 performing Hamlet. Tickets are available online at mtsu.edu/Tucker Theater.
And still ahead on MT10 News, Hear about the Grizzlies' hot start to this NBA season.
Also, stay tuned for a recap on the exciting Game 5 of the World Series. That's coming up next on MT10 News.
Well, MTSU basketball opened up their season with Murphy Madness last week.
That's right, and the women's basketball team had one of their first games. John Irvis joins us now with a look at MT10 Sports.
That's right, Kristen. MTSU women's basketball hosted an exhibition game against Tennessee Wesleyan over the weekend. The Blue Raiders started strong and never looked back. MTSU dominated on offense, scoring in the post and from three. MTSU won 89-34 against Wesleyan, as many players from Middle contribute in scoring in the post and three. MTSU player reached double digits in points, including Alex Johnson with 15, Rebecca Reuter with 13, and Jess Leroy with 12. Forward Gabby Line played a great all-around game for Middle as she scored 9 points, grabbed 5 rebounds, and had 5 steals. MTSU will host Trevecca in an exhibition matchup on Thursday. And MTSU volleyball faced University of Texas El Paso over the weekend. The Blue Raiders struggled overall against UTEP. The first set was close, but UTEP won 25-19. UTEP dominated the second and third sets to sweep Middle. Even though MTSU lost the game, they did have some bright spots. Michaela York recorded 10 kills on offense in the game. Middle Sweeney did an excellent job of setting up her teammates as she collected 22 assists. The Blue Raiders will host Austin Peay on Wednesday. And now to basketball, the Memphis Grizzlies hot start continues. They took on the Houston Rockets this past Saturday, and after a tight first quarter, Memphis pulled away with a 103-89 win. The Grizzlies shot efficient, going 47% from the field, compared to Houston managing only 37%. Chandler Parsons led the way with 24 points, making 9 of his 11 attempts. Parsons also shot 6 of 8 from the three. Memphis now stands at 5-1 on the season, the best record in the NBA. And now to the World Series. This continues to produce more classic games. Houston managed a 12-9 lead after Brian McCann hit a solo home run going into the top of the ninth. The Astros were looking to end the game. However, Yasiel Puig had other ideas, booming a 2-run shot to cut the deficit to 1. Chris Taylor singled later in the inning to tie it up. The game went to the bottom of the 10th, where Alex Bregman hit a line drive to score Derek Fisher, winning it 13-12. Houston now leads the series 3-2. And that'll be it for sports. For MT10 News, I'm John Irvin.
Thanks, John. Well, everyone, be safe for Halloween. Do you know what you're going to dress up for as?
I think I'm going to be Sleepy from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It's what I am every day, just tired.
All right. Well, everyone have a great night and join us again tomorrow. I'm Kristen Gallant.
And I'm Jaylen Scurry.
Have a good night, everyone.